I believe that we have to go to a non-negotiated price, totally online, transparent, 100% pickup and delivery model.
Ford is shutting down every dealership across the US. This isn't just a shakeup, it's a tidal wave that's going to change everything you know about buying and owning a car. This decision is a drastic reimagining of the automotive industry that leaves thousands of employees in limbo, disrupts communities, and forces us to rethink what it means to buy a Ford. No more haggling, no more showroom strolls. This is the beginning of a new era. But why would Ford do this? What happens to the dealership employees and local economies that rely on them? And as a consumer, how will you buy and maintain your car? What's happening? Ford's announcement has sent shockwaves through the automotive world. For decades, their network of dealerships has been the backbone of their business model. These physical spaces weren't just about selling cars. They were community hubs, offering test drives, repairs, and face-to-face service that built trust and loyalty. But now, Ford's CEO has dropped a bombshell. The company is moving toward a fully digital, direct-to-consumer sales model. No more dealerships as we know them. Instead, customers will shop for their cars online with prices set in stone. No negotiations, no surprises. Once you've clicked buy, your car will be delivered straight to your driveway. It's bold, and for some, it's terrifying. Imagine a world where you can't walk into a dealership to ask questions or haggle for a better deal. For Ford, this isn't just a gamble, it's a calculated bet on the future. Ford's bold move. To understand why Ford is making this seismic shift, we need to look at the challenges they're facing. First, there's the rise of online shopping. Customers have grown tired of the traditional car buying process. The back and forth negotiations, the upselling, the pressure to make a decision on the spot. It's an outdated model, and Ford knows it. Next, there's the competition. Tesla has been dominating the electric vehicle market with its direct-to-consumer sales model, bypassing dealerships altogether. Ford is playing catch-up, trying to streamline its processes and appeal to a tech-savvy audience that expects convenience and transparency. Finally, the numbers don't lie. Dealerships are expensive to maintain, and sales through traditional channels have been steadily declining. Ford sees the writing on the wall: adapt or risk becoming irrelevant. The problem with dealerships. While dealerships have long been central to Ford's success, they've also become a liability. Consumers have grown increasingly frustrated with the high-pressure sales tactics and hidden fees that are often associated with traditional car dealerships. Think about it. When was the last time you enjoyed buying a car? The pandemic only accelerated this shift. People turned to online shopping out of necessity, and now many prefer it for its convenience. Why waste hours at a dealership when you can browse, customize, and purchase a car from the comfort of your own home? And it's not just about convenience. Younger generations who grew up with the internet have little patience for the traditional dealership experience. They want digital-first solutions, personalized recommendations, and seamless transactions. Ford is trying to meet these expectations, even if it means leaving its old model behind. A closer look at Ford's struggles. Beyond consumer preferences, Ford is grappling with deeper challenges. Their push into the electric vehicle market has been costly, with their EV division losing a staggering $36,000 per car sold. Quality issues and warranty costs have added to the strain, with recalls affecting hundreds of thousands of vehicles in recent years. This financial pressure has forced Ford to rethink its strategy. By cutting out the middleman, the dealerships, they hope to reduce costs and invest more in technology and innovation. But this move isn't without risks. What happens to the thousands of employees who rely on these dealerships for their livelihoods? And how will customers react to such a dramatic change? The answers aren't clear, but one thing is certain: Ford is taking a bold step into uncharted territory. Whether it pays off or backfires remains to be seen. What's driving the change? The automotive world is undergoing one of the most transformative shifts in its history, and at the center of it all is the push for electric vehicles. Ford's decision to shut down its traditional dealership network and pivot to a direct-to-consumer model is deeply tied to the electric revolution. This is not just about selling cars differently, it's about adapting to a world where internal combustion engines are becoming relics of the past. Ford has been pouring billions of dollars into its electric vehicle division, hoping to compete with industry leaders like Tesla and Rivian. However, the journey has been anything but smooth. Despite the promise of a greener future, Ford's electric vehicle unit reported losses exceeding $1.1 billion in just one quarter. Even more alarming, the company is losing over $36,000 on every electric vehicle sold. These figures are not sustainable and have forced Ford to rethink its entire approach to selling cars. Consumers consumers are also playing a significant role in this transition. Electric vehicles have become more than just environmentally friendly alternatives. They represent status, innovation, and a step toward a more sustainable future. However, this shift comes with challenges. Convincing drivers to trade the roar of a traditional engine for the hum of an electric motor is no small feat. For decades, people have associated power and reliability with gasoline engines, and breaking that mindset requires more than just flashy marketing campaigns. Then there's the issue of infrastructure. The fear of running out of battery charge, often referred to as range anxiety, remains a significant deterrent for potential electric vehicle buyers. While companies like Tesla have built extensive charging networks, Ford and its competitors are still catching up. Without widespread, easily accessible charging stations, the dream of widespread electric vehicle adoption remains out of reach for many. Ford's direct-to-consumer model is designed to address some of these challenges. By cutting out the dealership middleman, the company hopes to reduce costs, improve margins, and invest more heavily in the development of electric vehicles. But whether this strategy will work remains uncertain. The transition to electric vehicles is a high-stakes gamble, and Ford is betting big on a future that has yet to be fully embraced. The rise of online shopping. The digital revolution has transformed nearly every aspect of our lives, from how we communicate to how we shop. It was only a matter of time before it disrupted the automotive industry. Ford's decision to move to a fully online sales model is a direct response to this shift in consumer behavior. For years, the car buying process has been criticized for its lack of transparency. Negotiating prices, deciphering hidden fees, and dealing with high-pressure sales tactics have left many consumers frustrated. The internet has changed all that. Today, shoppers can browse inventory, compare prices, and even customize their dream cars without ever stepping foot in a dealership. Ford's new sales model is designed with these consumers in mind. By creating a transparent, no-haggle system, the company hopes to build trust and streamline the car buying process. Customers will be able to see exactly what they are paying for, with no hidden fees or surprise costs. And with the rise of virtual showrooms and augmented reality technology, they can even test drive a car online before making a purchase. But this shift is not just about convenience, it's also about efficiency. Traditional dealerships require significant overhead, from maintaining inventory to paying sales staff. By eliminating these costs, Ford can focus on delivering better value to customers and investing in new technologies. However, this move also raises important questions. What happens to the dealership employees who are left behind? And will consumers embrace this new model, or will they miss the personal touch of a traditional car buying experience? The dealership dilemma. Ford's move away from dealerships has sparked a heated debate within the industry. For decades, dealerships have been the face of the brand, providing a physical space for customers to see, touch, and test drive vehicles. They have also played a crucial role in building relationships with buyers, offering services that go beyond the initial sale. However, the role of dealerships has been changing. The pandemic accelerated a trend that was already underway, with more consumers opting for online shopping. Virtual tours, digital customizations, and doorstep deliveries have become the norm, leaving traditional dealerships struggling to keep up. For many dealerships, this transition feels like a death knell. Thousands of employees, from sales staff to service technicians, now face an uncertain future. Smaller, family-owned dealerships, which often rely on their local communities for business, are particularly vulnerable. These businesses have been pillars of their communities for generations, sponsoring local events and providing jobs to countless people. Their closure would not only impact employees, but also the towns and neighborhoods they serve. At the same time, there are dealers who see this as an opportunity. They recognize the potential of digital tools to reach a broader audience and improve efficiency, but they need support, training, resources, and incentives to successfully transition to this new model. Ford has promised to provide this support, but many dealers remain skeptical. Transitioning an entire business model is no easy feat, and without a clear roadmap, many feel left in the dark. The question remains, can dealerships adapt to this new reality, or will they become casualties of the digital revolution? And if they do survive, what role will they play in a world where cars are sold online? The consumer perspective. For consumers, Ford's shift to a direct-to-consumer model promises both benefits and challenges. On the one hand, the new system offers unprecedented transparency. Buyers can see exactly what they are paying for, without the hidden fees and add-ons that often come with traditional dealerships. This level of clarity is a welcome change in an industry that has long been criticized for its lack of honesty. Customization is another major advantage. Ford's online platform allows buyers to build their dream car, choosing everything from the color and interior materials to the latest tech features. Virtual showrooms and augmented reality tools provide an immersive experience, letting buyers see how their customized vehicle will look in their driveway before they make a purchase. However, the lack of in-person interaction raises concerns. Car buying is a significant investment, and for many people, seeing and test driving a car in person is an essential part of the process. While Ford promises to address this with hybrid models that combine online tools with physical test drive centers, it remains to be seen whether this will satisfy all customers. Another concern is servicing and maintenance. Without local dealerships, where will customers take their cars for repairs? Ford has pledged to maintain a robust network of service centers, but many buyers worry about losing the convenience and trust that come with working with a familiar dealership. Finally, there's the question of affordability. While eliminating dealerships could theoretically reduce costs, there's no guarantee that these savings will be passed on to consumers. In fact, Ford's electric vehicles are already seen as expensive compared to competitors like Tesla and Chevrolet. If prices continue to rise, the company risks alienating budget-conscious buyers. The broader industry impact. Ford's decision to shut down its dealership network is not happening in a vacuum. It reflects a larger trend in the automotive industry as companies grapple with the challenges of electrification, digital transformation, and changing consumer expectations. Other automakers are watching closely, and Ford's success or failure could set the tone for the entire industry. Tesla has already proven that a direct-to-consumer model can work, but Ford's situation is different. As a legacy automaker, Ford has a vast network of dealerships and a customer base that spans generations. Transitioning to a fully online model is a massive undertaking, and the stakes are high. If Ford succeeds, it could pave the way for other traditional automakers to follow suit. Companies like General Motors and Toyota have already begun exploring online sales, and Ford's move could accelerate this shift. But if the transition falters, it could serve as a cautionary tale, reinforcing the importance of dealerships in building customer trust and brand loyalty. Beyond the automotive industry, this shift has implications for local economies. Dealerships are more than just places to buy cars. They are major employers and community hubs. Their closure could have ripple effects, from job losses to reduced tax revenues. This is particularly concerning in rural areas, where dealerships often play an outsized role in the local economy. In the end, Ford's decision is about more than just selling cars. It's about redefining what it means to be an automaker in the 21st century. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the automotive industry will never be the same. The human cost of change. Ford's bold decision to close its dealership network is not just a business move, it is a seismic shift that will profoundly impact the lives of thousands of people. For decades, dealerships have been more than just places to sell cars. They have been community pillars, offering stable employment, economic support, and a human connection between Ford and its customers. One of the most immediate and heartbreaking consequences of this decision is the loss of jobs. Across the country, thousands of sales associates, service technicians, administrative staff, and managers face uncertain futures. For many, these roles were not just jobs, but careers, providing stability and opportunities for growth. Imagine the service technician who spent years training to work on Ford vehicles, mastering the nuances of complex engines and systems. Where does that expertise go when local dealerships shut down? Many of these workers will struggle to find positions that utilize their specific skills. While some might pivot to independent repair shops or other automotive brands, the transition will not be seamless. The loss of these roles will leave families and communities grappling with economic uncertainty. Beyond the individual workers, dealership closures also deal a heavy blow to local economies. In smaller towns and rural areas, dealerships often act as economic lifelines, employing dozens of people and contributing significantly to local tax revenues. The ripple effect of these closures is staggering. When a dealership shuts its doors, it is not just the employees who suffer, it is the local businesses that rely on the dealership's patronage and the municipal services funded by its taxes. Communities in crisis. For many communities, Ford dealerships have been more than just places to buy cars. They have been symbols of trust, reliability, and progress. These establishments have sponsored Little League teams, hosted charity events, and created spaces where neighbors could gather and connect. Removing this presence from towns and cities leaves a void that cannot easily be filled. Take, for example, a rural town where the local Ford dealership has been a fixture for decades. It is not just a business, it is a part of the community's identity. Employees are often lifelong lifelong residents who know their customers by name. The dealership's closure creates a domino effect. Families lose income, local businesses see fewer customers, and the town loses a key source of tax revenue. This strain extends to schools, infrastructure, and public services that depend on those funds. Then there is the emotional toll. Dealerships often serve as a bridge between Ford and its customers, offering a human touch that cannot be replicated online. The familiar faces of salespeople and service staff build relationships and trust that make customers feel valued. Losing that personal connection risks alienating a segment of the market that values face-to-face interaction over digital convenience. A new role for dealerships? While Ford is moving toward a direct-to-consumer model, this does not necessarily mean the complete eradication of dealerships. Instead, it may signal a shift in their role. Rather than acting as traditional sales hubs, dealerships could transform into service and support centers, focusing on maintenance, repairs, and customer education. This hybrid model could provide a lifeline for struggling dealerships. By partnering with Ford to offer specialized services for electric vehicles, dealerships could remain relevant in a rapidly changing industry. For instance, they might serve as hubs for charging infrastructure, battery maintenance, or software updates, areas where traditional repair shops often lack expertise. However, this transformation requires significant investment. Dealerships will need to upgrade their facilities, retrain staff, and embrace new technologies to stay competitive. Without substantial support from Ford, many may not survive the transition. For smaller, family-owned dealerships, these changes may prove too costly, forcing them to close their doors for good. The industry at a crossroads. Ford's decision is not happening in isolation. It is part of a broader trend reshaping the automotive industry as companies grapple with the twin challenges of electrification and digitalization. Other automakers, including General Motors and Stellantis, are watching closely, and Ford's success or failure could set a precedent. If Ford's direct-to-consumer model succeeds, it could accelerate the decline of traditional dealerships across the industry. Competitors may follow suit, closing their own dealership networks in favor of online sales. This shift would fundamentally change how cars are bought and sold, creating a landscape where automakers have direct control over pricing, inventory, and customer relationships. However, there are risks. The move to online sales could alienate older or less tech-savvy customers who value the hands-on experience of visiting a dealership. It also raises questions about servicing and maintaining vehicles. Without a robust network of local dealerships, customers may struggle to find reliable service options, particularly in rural areas. Then there is the issue of competition. While Ford is following the lead of companies like Tesla, it faces unique challenges as a legacy automaker. Unlike Tesla, which built its direct-to-consumer model from the ground up, Ford must navigate the complexities of dismantling an established dealership network. This process is fraught with legal, logistical, and financial hurdles that could slow its progress and create opportunities for competitors to gain ground. Consumers in the driver's seat. At the heart of this transformation is the consumer. Ford's direct-to-consumer model is designed to meet the demands of a new generation of car buyers who value transparency, convenience, and personalization. But how will this change affect the average buyer? For many, the move to online sales is a welcome change. It eliminates the stress of haggling over prices and dealing with high-pressure sales tactics. With a few clicks, buyers can customize their vehicles, compare prices, and complete their purchase from the comfort of their own homes. Virtual showrooms and augmented reality tools add an interactive element, allowing customers to explore their options in detail before making a decision. And however, the digital model is not without its drawbacks. For one, it lacks the tactile experience of a traditional dealership. Seeing, touching, and test driving a car in person can be a critical part of the buying process, particularly for first-time buyers or those purchasing a high-end vehicle. While Ford plans to offer hybrid solutions, such as test drive centers, these options may not fully replicate the dealership experience. Then there is the question of service and support. Buying a car is just the beginning of the ownership journey, and customers need reliable access to maintenance and repairs. Ford has pledged to maintain a strong service network, but the logistics of servicing vehicles without traditional dealerships remain unclear. Will customers have to travel further for repairs? And will independent repair shops have the training and tools to handle the complexities of electric vehicles? The economic ripple effect. The closure of Ford dealerships does not just impact employees and consumers. It sends shockwaves through the broader economy. Dealerships are major employers, and their closure means significant job losses across a wide range of roles, from sales and service staff to administrative and finance teams. Beyond the dealership itself, a host of related industries also feel the impact. Parts suppliers, marketing firms, and financing companies that rely on dealership business face reduced demand, leading to layoffs and financial strain. This creates a domino effect, where the economic fallout of dealership closures extends far beyond the automotive industry. Local economies are particularly vulnerable. In many rural and suburban areas, dealerships are among the largest employers and contribute significantly to municipal budgets through property taxes and sales taxes. Their closure leaves a financial hole that is difficult to fill, particularly in smaller communities with limited economic diversity. The loss of dealerships also has social implications. These establishments often act as community hubs, sponsoring events, supporting local charities, and fostering connections among residents. Their absence leaves a void that goes beyond economics, affecting the social fabric of the communities they once served. Adapting to a digital future. As Ford pushes forward with its direct-to-consumer model, the challenge lies in striking a balance between innovation and tradition. The company must find ways to preserve the trust and connection built through its dealerships while embracing the efficiency and convenience of digital sales. One potential solution is to integrate physical touchpoints into the digital experience. Test drive centers, pop-up showrooms, and mobile service units could provide the hands-on interaction that many customers still value. By combining the best aspects of both models, Ford can create a hybrid approach that appeals to a wider range of buyers. Another critical element is education. Ford must invest in training both its employees and its customers to navigate this new landscape. Sales staff need to become experts in electric vehicles and digital tools, while customers need clear guidance on how to use online platforms and access services. Ultimately, the success of Ford's strategy will depend on its ability to listen to its customers. By gathering feedback and continuously refining its approach, the company can adapt to changing demands and build a model that works for everyone, from tech-savvy millennials to loyal older buyers. Central to this vision is the creation of a seamless online experience. Ford is investing heavily in its digital platforms, enabling customers to research, customize, and purchase vehicles from the comfort of their homes. Features like virtual showrooms, augmented reality test drives, and transparent pricing are designed to eliminate the frustrations of traditional car buying. For Ford, this is not just about selling cars. It is about creating a customer-centric ecosystem where buyers feel empowered and informed, balancing innovation with tradition. While Ford's direct-to-consumer strategy is a bold step forward, it also raises questions about how the company will balance innovation with tradition. Dealerships have long been more than just sales hubs. They are symbols of trust and reliability. Ford's challenge is to retain this legacy while embracing the efficiencies of a digital-first model. This is where hybrid solutions could play a critical role. By transforming dealerships into service centers or test drive hubs, Ford can maintain a physical presence that complements its online offerings. These centers could act as bridges, allowing customers to interact with vehicles in person before finalizing their purchase online. Additionally, these locations could serve as critical support hubs for electric vehicle owners, offering battery maintenance, software updates, and other specialized services. Ford must also address the broader social and economic impact of its decision. From job losses to the decline of local economies, the consequences of dealership closures extend far beyond the company's bottom line. Investing in retraining programs, supporting displaced employees, and collaborating with communities will be essential for mitigating these effects. Ford's success will ultimately depend on its ability to demonstrate that this shift is not just a cost-cutting measure, but a forward-thinking strategy that benefits all stakeholders. As the automotive landscape continues to evolve, Ford's approach could set a new standard for the industry. It is a daring move that challenges the status quo and positions the company as a leader in innovation. But with great ambition comes great responsibility, and the true test will be whether Ford can deliver on its promise to redefine the future of car buying while honoring the trust it has built over generations.